All right, welcome to Primos for Life, the wrestling podcast made for the fans, by the fans. Como siempre, yo soy Eddie, el niño vaque. We got Ariel, el sueño ecuatoriano Bisueta, and we are your self-proclaimed, undisputed co-host tag team champions of the world. And guess what, y'all? It is Wrestlemania week. In tonight's episode, we jump into a quick Monday Night Raw recap, as well as jumping into WrestleMania 41, Night 1 and Night 2 predictions, where Ariel and I go over our choices on who's our favorite to win, as well as our logical pick to win. So, como siempre, sit back, grab a snack, and let's get it on. It's WrestleMania, y'all. Primo, it's time. It is WrestleMania week.
All the build-up, man. It's all been leading to this. I love the energy. Love it. Great. It's time. This is the time for it to happen, man. It's going down. Everything that we've been building since the Rumble, the road to WrestleMania, all of it, the stuff has been building before then is just fantastic, especially because of all the long-term booking we always say happens. So looking forward to it, man. Can't wait to get these predictions in and just sit down and get Mania in. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. I'm excited.
Bro, you know what the crazy thing about it is, though? It's like the whole time we were like, I mean, I'm just reflecting on me, right? It's like I was complaining, I was mad, I was angry, I was happy. But you know what? Now that we're finally here, especially, you know, with the quick run through of Raw that we're going to do, right. I'm just like, you know what? I'm happy that we're here. I'm happy where the chips are. And as a genuine fan, I am just really, really excited to just watch everything.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun, dude. Yeah, no, just like you say, it's just to be able to sit back and just take it all in, and, you know, all the buildups have been here, all the moments that are going to happen. It's going to be fantastic, man.
Yeah. And first and foremost, before we jump into everything, let's just thank all the talent. Let's thank everybody, you know, backstage, in the ring, outside of the ring, production, everything for getting us to this point, to WrestleMania.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So like, really, we are super stoked about it, and we finally made it. Great job all around, and we are just so excited to jump into it. So what I'm thinking of doing real quick is like, let's just recap Raw super quick. I'm just going to run through it. You tell me at the end if I missed anything, and then let's just jump into these picks.
Let's do it. Yeah, let's bang. I mean, we got 2 nights of picks we got to do. So exactly. They're all going to come with some semblance of a background. We're not just doing picks and then stopping. So yeah, we got to get through Raw quick so we can, you know, knock these things out.
Yeah. All right. And I'm going to start spitballing. Here we go. So Raw opens up, Gunther promo. Awesome. Bianca video promo. Awesome. Then first match of the night, Bayley versus Liv. Awesome win for Bayley. Moving forward, Rhea video promo. Awesome. Ray versus Julius Creed. Also leads to El Grande Americano interference, but Ray wins. Awesome. War Raiders promo for the New Day. Pretty solid. New Day response to the War Raiders. Pretty solid. Fun. I liked it. AJ Styles versus Karrion Kross. AJ takes the win, but Logan Paul comes out, has the final moment, and standing tall leading into their match at WrestleMania.
Right.
Paul Heyman is seen in the background waiting for Roman. Jay Uso, comes out. He cuts a promo. Pretty solid. A good way to lead into Saturday's event. I'm very happy. The one note that I will say about that is Jay is definitely for this generation. His promo is made for people that are like Gen Z. That's all I gotta say about that.
He's mad over with them. So of course. Like he knew to tap into, or someone knew to tap into that younger group, and he was the guy to do it. So
because really quickly, when Gunther did his promo, I resonated more for that. I was like, yes, give me that hardcore traditional wrestling stuff. And Jay was like, nah, yeet, yeet, I'm out. And I was just like, okay, this is what we doing. I like it.
Well, I mean, he had his promo last week.
Yeah.
You had to have Gunther's rebuttal, and you didn't want to spend too much more time talking at this point. So I think it was just, that's why I was just like, let's go, let's get in, let's get out.
Yeah. Again, solid way to lead into Mania.
Absolutely.
Next segment, Judgment Day attacks Braun 3-on-1 because he was doing a quick interview. But then that leads into the Penta versus Finn match. Penta wins by disqualification because of Braun. It turns into a giant brawl, obviously heating up things for their match on Saturday as well. Right. Then we get the EO in Japanese video promo. Solid. Love it.
Love it.
Super fun. Then we finally get Paul waiting on Roman. Roman finally shows up. Terrible timing because then Punk shows up and then Roman looks at Paul like a jealous girlfriend, like, I can't believe you. You're hanging out with your ex. Like, what are you doing? I thought you were my boo. And then just storms off to the ring. Awesome. How they did that.
I mean, fun.
Yeah, I mean, oh man. And then their giant segment at the end. Roman asks why, he's doing this. Paul's like, but it's a favor that I got to complete. Roman's like, but why do I have to pay the tab for this favor that you decided to do? Ain't nobody asked you for help, to get help for us in war games, et cetera, et cetera. Then Seth comes out. He's like, hey, you're getting the picture. But he's clearly saying that, oh, he's the savior. He's the answer because he doesn't want somebody like him that shows up whenever he wants, or someone like Punk who takes his ball and cries every time things don't go his way. That Seth is the future and he's what's best for business, which we should talk about a little bit later, about that. But overall, Roman knocks Seth out and pushes Paul and and then he gets tumbled into the corner and then CM Punk runs out and saves the day, knocking everybody out. But then Seth gets the final moment by stomping everybody and having his final moment at the end of the Netflix episode. Executive producer Paul Levesque and Lee Fittings.
Lee Fittings, okay. All right. It was Lee something or another. There we go. All right, Lee.
And that's it.
Thank you, Lee.
That was Monday Night Raw. All right. Did I miss anything?
Didn't miss anything. Let me see if there's anything I wanted to highlight. Gunther's promo, fantastic. Love the EO thing. The Rey Mysterio match was great. No, it was just enough to get you by. A couple standing tall moments I never really like to see before a PLE because I always feel like the person who stands tall right before the PLE really rarely ever gets to win there. Mm-hmm. So not really happy when I saw Penta get up. I was like, no, stay down. But yeah. So and with Punk, I mean, this that's gonna be just a fun one anyway. But yeah, you covered everything, and I think very well done to get it done. Everything in the first 7 minutes. Knocking that out so we can move on to predictions. The one thing of note that I did want to say, the Intercontinental match, I believe, is on Sunday.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. And the only thing that I will touch on Raw before we jump into the card, the night 1 and night 2 WrestleMania cards and our picks, is the only thing that I, as a fan, wish that could be done differently before PLEs, or especially one as big as WrestleMania, is I truly feel like anyone competing in those nights shouldn't fight, or they could cut promos and should cut segments on Raw or SmackDown by all means. But I feel like, in the interest of keeping more realistic sports, prize fighters don't have pre-matches before their main matches. They just train the whole time. So I just wish that was one little thing. AJ Styles didn't have to wrestle. Penta didn't have to wrestle. You know what I mean? You could have put other people there. Ray didn't have to wrestle, but I get it. We're closing up stories. We're solidifying. We're heating up things to make it that much more impactful going into the weekend. But that's just my only remarks. Otherwise, loved it as a fan.
I mean, I agree with you. I think it's definitely tough because you definitely don't want to risk injury or something like that so close to Mania. I think probably, GM had on, you try to make these matches quick or interference or win via DQ, stuff like that, so that they don't have to go too long. And it's kind of let's get in quickly so that no one does get hurt, tell the story, and get out. So I agree with you. I don't like to see it too much either because of the risk of injury, but I think that's also why they tried to keep it short and kind of just here's the DQ, here's the run-in, here's, whatever.
Yeah. But overall, again, pretty solid. And you ready for night 1?
Let's go.
All right. So first match of the night, or at least we're assuming is the first match of the night, will be for the World Tag Team Champions, and it will be the War Raiders versus the New Day.
See, I have first match of the night as Uso Gunther.
Really?
Yeah.
So early on?
Well, I mean, your main event is the triple threat, right? So at this point, you're bookending. Okay. Because that's your next most prominent match. Because because look at the rest of the card, with the exception of maybe the women's match, the championship match. But that's what I have here. But we can start with the Raiders and Raiders New Day. All right, so Raiders New Day and I'm writing everything down.
Yes, please
for our
do.
Picks. All right, Raiders.
And for our listeners, just to let you guys know, we've done this in the past, but just to kind of reiterate, we're going to clean it up a little. This time, we're just going to do, fun picks, like fan picks that we just, as fans, we would want to see. But we're also just going to give you the logical pick. That's it. Right. Meaning, storyline wise, going forward after WrestleMania season, it makes the most sense that this group would win.
Right.
Or these,
whatever, the individual,
whoever would win.
The superstar.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Or stars in question. Yeah.
There you go. Thank you for cleaning that up.
You got it. Here for it, man.
All right. So my only comment about this match, we already had the discussion slightly, but if it were up to me, I would have put the SmackDown tag match in here instead of them. Only reason, and I believe actually it's kind of funny. I think I sent you a video about this earlier on in the week.
You did,
and it makes sense. I mean, the point is, how do you build up their tag division? How do you build up that whole division, that roster, that storyline, to not have them featured the way that this match is? I feel like this match kind of came out of nowhere. It just kind of like a Rhea situation. New Day, because of their heel stance, it's like they complained, they got their way, they cheated, and now there's a build up to an actual war kind of match on Mania. So I would flip it, but I'm still okay with it. I'm still excited for this match.
Right. I completely understand. I agreed with you that the tag division match should have been on this. I think I would probably, in lieu of El Grande Americano versus Rey Mysterio, would probably maybe swap that one out for the tag match, because I think Raiders New Day is fun because of the heel turn and the heat that they're getting now. And I'm speaking of the New Day, of course. I think you kind of had to put them there because you're trying to sell the story, and I think there was another match, maybe another two, that I probably could mention that would come off for the SmackDown championships. Yeah. But
or the other solution could have been one on each night. The SmackDown on one night and the Raw on the other night.
Exactly. Other than that would be perfectly fine.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so picks, to me, logically, it's going to be the New Day. Logical pick is New Day because they're being built up so much. They're going to go on this heel run because they already have a historic run. It just makes more sense that they would go into a new run as this new version and just, create mayhem and possibly create new opportunities for other tag teams to, be showcased on, Raw, on the Raw brand. So that's a logical pick for me.
Okay. All right. Do you want to give me your fan pick too, or do you want me to give you my logical, and then we'll just kind of go back and forth?
Then I'll give you the fan pick too. Fan pick, it would be the War Raiders, because they're pretty solid. They're a pretty solid tag team. I like their mixture of a gimmick. It reminds me of the Undertaker switch to American Badass. Right. I enjoy that because this is more like, hey, we're Vikings, but we're also kind of bikers, kind of like bar fighters kind of dudes, and I like that gimmick. So, as a fan, I'd pick War Raiders, but as the logical pick, it would be the New Day.
Okay. Well, my fan and logical is going to be the same, and you know where I'm going with this.
Yes.
So, I mean, I don't think we have to mention it for all the reasons that you covered. I'm going New Day. Another historic run, another chance for these guys to showcase who they are and be featured prominently with belts around them, as you said, which will also give opportunities for tag teams in that Raw division to come up, because it's been very slim pickings in terms of that division. So yeah, I'm going to go New Day on both of those, and I don't want to drone on about this because everyone knows how much I love them. So yeah, I'm going New Day, both fan and logical.
Boo! No, hey, I love it. I know, because at least you stay strong with your squad. So I respect.
I love my boys. I love my boys.
All right. So then the next match that I have on the card in my order, I guess, would be the Lucha Libre Showdown, which is Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano.
El Grande Americano.
Which now that I say it, it sounds more Italian than Spanish, El Grande Americano.
Especially when you do it like that, dude. I mean, come on. Okay, I have Jade Cargill versus Naomi, but all right, we're going Rey versus Grande. All right. what do you got for your? I'll do this one. We'll alternate so that we can.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not always following. All right, so here, my logical pick goes to Ray. Just because he's on a hell of a run right now, and at his age and doing it as long as he's been, I think this is, fun. It's also kind of a way for Chad Gable to still not have his Mania moment because he's a grande americano. He's not Chad Gable or what have you. So I'm gonna go Ray with the logical pick. I think you've kind of run your course with this grande americano thing, so you unmask him, whatever. Unless which my fan pick would be a grande americano on some kind of like a screw job or something. He pulls the mask off and then someone comes out and whatever. But I'm going to go, and that's funny that I would go with him as my fan pick, but I think it would make for better storylines and stuff moving forward and kind of adds to it. But my logical pick is Ray.
Okay. No, I like it. For me, actually, I kind of like your New Day pick. I think El Grande Americano gets both.
Okay.
He's my fan and my logical, and here's my logical response. My logical response is basically what you just said. He's going to get the win over Ray, and we're going to have this quote-unquote newcomer get such a win over such a a high, greatest of all time wrestler. Mm-hmm. But, Chad is going to try to brag off of that, but it's like, well, Chad, that's not you. It's El Grande Americano, right? So there's going to cause like a little storyline conflict there. So to your point, either going to be he's going to either admit that he's El Grande Americano the whole time, mm-hmm. or it's going to be found out later that he's El Grande Americano, and therefore the history book will change, and it wasn't El Grande that got the win, but it was really Chad Gable that got the win, and it'll get updated. Something like that.
Well, I see what you're saying there. That makes sense, but there's a lot of ways to peel that onion. So that's good. I figure you go Grande because of what I said. For some reason I just think they're going to give it to Ray just to kind of keep being able to downplay some of this stuff. But who knows? That's why we're going to watch. See what happens.
Exactamente. All right, brother. All right, next match I got is Jade Cargill versus Naomi. Mm-hmm. And I guess I'm going first, right, on this one?
Yeah, you're up on this one.
Okay. My fan pick is Naomi. I think she has been built up so awesomely with these promos, the new character shift, from the glow fun person to the toxic caution chemical type of person, toxic person. Mm-hmm. I love that. I love the promos. I love the work. She's really been putting in the work, a lot of emotion, everything there. Right. So I want her to be the fan pick, but logically, I feel like to continue building Jade up to become this monster in the women's division, right, to eventually go for one of those titles later down the road. I feel like she needs to go, into the ring and beat someone as decorated as Naomi is. So that's the logical pick would be Jade for me.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I am unfortunately in this aspect. I'm going to agree with you 100%.
Let's go.
I would like to see Naomi win this, especially when she got them cool ass like razor blades in her hair and stuff now. I'd like to see that, but you can't have signed Jade, started the push with her. She gets hurt and comes back and takes an L early on. I think that's just kind of rough. Maybe the no decision or DQ somehow. I don't know how they would work that out, but I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to go Jade as the logical pick and Naomi as the fan pick, because I think that would just be fun. And then you can really start, doing some really good stuff with Naomi, or even just continue the feud with her and Jade and just see what happens. But yeah, I agree with you on that. So unfortunately, not a lot of good banter on that one, but in total agreement.
We got plenty of matches to banter on, so don't worry.
It's a good point. Good point.
All right. Next one on the list is the U.S. Championship, LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu. Actually, you go. You go first.
Yeah, that's right. All right. So it's La versus Fatu. And now my fan pick is, of course, Fatu. Because you and I both love this dude a lot. And they're thinking it and going, a lot of ways with it. I want to pick him as the logical pick, but I see a lot of belts that could be changing hands. And so but I think logically it's time, because LA Knight's had his run with it now, 2 runs with this belt. So I think it's now time for Fatu to get it. You can start doing inner turmoil with the bloodline, bring back Tangaloa, because I know he was hurt, so he should be coming back soon. So I'm going to go Fatu both ways here, just because fan-wise, awesome, and I think storyline-wise, it's a good build. And you can start moving LA Knight and shifting it into a either more prominent role or just a different feud. But I think he's had his belt run.
Yeah, no. Oh man, I 1,000% agree. He's the fan pick for me. He obviously a huge fan of his in-ring work and his promos and cutscenes and everything that he does. It's pretty awesome, very entertaining. And you're right, and that was the direction that I was thinking too, because now you could either push the new bloodline with this championship now that they have it in their possession, as a stepping stone to go for tag belts or to go for a heavyweight title belt, somewhere down the line in other pay-per-views, for Solo, and then for whoever else gets added into maybe down the line, whatever the case is. But
right.
But you could also flip it and turn it into something that causes more issues. Like, hey, listen, you went for the belt plenty of times Solo and you failed. And the only belt you really ran with the bloodline was the North American, right? Because he was the only one that had the North American while everybody else had the tags and the World Heavyweight. So it's like, now Jacob is showing off and saying, well, I'm a little bit better than you, Solo. So what are you going to do about it? So you could go both ways in that storyline. And you're right. And then also you could set up LA to not only be able to move into like a heavyweight picture and go for those titles, but also if he doesn't succeed, then he could be the next King of the Ring winner or Money in the Bank winner to finally cash in on those later on.
See, I think that's great. So okay, so logically you're going.
Yep, well, I'm with you,
Fatu?
Jacob.
Okay.
Fatu.
All right. Okay. All right.
All right, man. Okay, so next match I got WWE Women's Championship, Tiffany versus Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
And so I go, right? I go on this one?
Yes.
Okay, so my logical pick is Charlotte Flair. And I don't like it. I'm not excited about it because I just feel like, backstage they're really big on her. They're very, loyal to her. And I feel like by having her win, it gives Tiffany the ability to get polished a little bit more. And then maybe we'll have a Charlotte Tiffy 2 or Charlotte Tiffy 3, kind of like build that up to like, like a Rock and Stone Cold situation.
Right.
But yeah, I think logically it just makes more sense for her because I feel like with all the stuff that happened with Charlotte in and outside of the ring, just a whole bunch of crap. I feel like crapping on her more at Mania wouldn't be that I guess they wouldn't want to do that to her, is my thinking.
Right.
And then my fan pick is obviously Tiffy, because you want the rising star to go ahead and show the queen or the veteran, hey, like, I'm here, take me seriously kind of situation. So that's where I'm at. But I just feel like Charlotte is the logical pick because Tiffany just needs a little bit more polishing. She's incredible in the ring, but I feel like as a well packaged or a fully packaged wrestler, I feel like certain things just need to be slightly polished, and she'll get there. I mean, she's fantastic. So
right. I'm actually gonna go with Tiffy on both of these.
Ooh.
Because I think this is where they do go with the swerve, especially when it comes to a belt, because Raiders New Day, if Raiders win, no one's going to be like, huge swerve. LA Knight Fatu wins, no one's going to huge swerve. If Charlotte comes back and doesn't take the belt off Tiffy, then that's the swerve. So I think, fan, of course, same reason you, but I think you can now build a great feud with these two, even moving more forward with everything that happened now, starting with a win with Tiff. So I'm going Tiffy both ways.
Makes sense, man. You know what? I feel I like, sharing these ideas and our thoughts on either way it could go, because at the end of the day, it's either way sounds exciting. So
right. Absolutely,
I'm hyped. Yeah. I'm hyped.
Yeah, no, you're gonna get a fantastic match that they're gonna put on, and like I said, I either way the story goes, I agree with you. I mean, because my mind was going, Charlotte's back, They gave her the win at the Rumble. This is like that. But I figure if they love doing the swerve now. Hunter's all about the swerve, and nothing up until this night has been much of a swerve. If this card holds the way, so that's me. But
yeah,
great.
All right. Next match is Gunther versus Jay for the World Heavyweight title. Go ahead. I think this one's you first.
This is me. Right. This is me. All right. I mean, I'm going to be boring and go both the same way. Jey Uso. I've said it for a while. His mini moment. His time. I've been saying it for a hot minute, so I'm not going to bore all of our listeners. We love all of you. Like it's his time. Everyone sees this. It's the Kofi Kingston, the Daniel Bryan. It's these story arcs of the way that things have happened. Like, so for that reason, I mean, everyone fan pick wants him, of course, but I think the logical pick here is Jey Uso.
Okay, I like it. I'm split here. I think the fan pick is, well, actually, the fan pick for me is Gunther. I think fan pick wise, it makes sense for him to be the winner, to walk out here. You're not going to hand him another loss at WrestleMania. Like, I think.
Yeah, but those are only losses.
Huh?
Those are only losses.
What do you mean? He lost to Sammy.
But I'm saying those are his only losses.
Yeah, but you can't.
Two losses in 2 years, and both are at Mania, and you've had a title run in there.
But that's what I'm saying. You can't sell him as the prominent, like, 80%, wrestler who's held the championship throughout his entire time, but then still continue to have a losing streak, or starting a losing streak. You know what I mean? So the fan pick for me, it just makes sense that, plus Triple H, he loves that guy. And then on top of that, and top of that,
he does.
Taker supports him too, and I'm sure Sean does too. And
they,
I'm sure they have a say in there. And
absolutely.
I feel like, I think he may lose it at a different point, but I don't think it's tonight, that night. I don't think.
Okay.
Now, the logical answer, though, because I saw on Raw how truly, truly, truly over Jay is, only because the way, like, again, that promo, the reason why I said it's a Gen Z promo, because he said nothing but so much at the same time. And I'm just like, yeah, I hear you, but you didn't deliver it like Gunther, but I get it. I know, but guess what? The crowd heard you. The 15,000 people in that arena heard you, and they were with you. So you're over. He's a moneymaker. The logical pick is Jay to win, but my heart still says, my fandom still says, I respect and love the ring general.
That's a bomb. I got you. I mean, what you're saying completely makes sense. Like, truly, I understand what you're saying. You don't want to hand him two major losses at Mania, even carrying this. But my only thought process also in this is part of why the logical pick is you handed Jay 2 or 3 losses to this guy already. So in that same thing, to have someone this over who's been involved in this with this guy for so long, and for it not to happen, I think that's why. So, but yeah, okay, great. So but we have you. That's your logical pick. So you thinking the same thing. So
yeah. Well, actually, before we continue, I want the listeners to know that there's a reason why I'm trying not to be overly critical, and I'm really trying to just pick with my heart and pick, like fandom as a true fan, right?
Okay.
I don't know if you heard earlier in the week, but Triple H has been going around doing plenty of press and plenty of interviews. Mm-hmm. And at one point, kind of like what Taker said a few months back, and a lot of what the veterans say, is like, hey, like, everybody doesn't have to be a critic. Just stop criticizing and just watch and enjoy as a fan.
Absolutely.
And it humbled me, and I was like, you know what? He's right. I love the product. I love all levels of wrestling, and even when Mania season's over, I already told my wife, hey, any local promotions in the area that are going to be doing shows, guess what? I'm going to start showing up, because I just love the sport of it. I love, give me an excuse to meet up with my boys and be like, hey, man, I'm going to go see something in Clearwater. You're down? Boom.
Right.
Or in Tampa? Boom. Or Orlando? Boom. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of revitalized my love as a fan. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go into tonight's picks as like, I'm logical for the story, and I'm not naive or stupid in that sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I do have feelings. I do have a heart. I have stake and investment in certain wrestlers, and if I had it my way, I would want them to be the ones to triumph.
Right. I think you're being a little hard on yourself.
Yeah.
Just because, logically, you've always had sometimes your fandom did cloud your logic side.
Oh, yeah.
But it's never been, over the top, anything like that. So I think you're being a little hard on yourself, but I understand what you're saying. But that's why I have always said, and I've said it to you before, I with any of my things, my Knicks, my Giants, my Mets, wrestling, I like to be able to put the fan hat on and the GM hat on, to be able to separate those two. And so I think you do a good job of it. Like I said, there has been some bleeding in, but you're calling it out now, and that's great. And so yeah, good, awesome. That's fantastic. But I think he's right. There has to be a critic. The thing is, we are doing a wrestling podcast, so unfortunately, opinions are going to be part of it. So that's why I said be a little hard on yourself, but I understand what you're saying. So.
Yeah, for sure. Well, gracias, primo. Thank you for the support.
Got it.
All right. And then for the main event of the evening, for night one of the WrestleMania 41 card, it is going to be the triple threat main event: Roman Reigns versus CM Punk with Paul Heyman and Seth Rollins. Now, I get to go first on this one. And dang you, internet, because all these theories and everything that flew around, I fell in love with every bit of it. And the logical pick to me is Punk, because it's his first WrestleMania main event. Roman's done it 11 times. Seth, I think, has done it like 5 or 6 times. Let Punk have his moment and get the win. But the fandom part of me says that the internet is onto something, and I think Seth turns out to be, and it's going to be revealed that Paul Heyman has been playing double agent, and it's going to screw both Roman and Punk, and he in turn is going to become Seth Rollins' manager, making Seth Rollins a Paul Heyman guy. And even further, especially with Monday's promo about what's best for business, and John Cena saying what's best for business at the press conference after the Royal Rumble, I think there's some type of allegiance there that we're going to get revealed at the end of the night, where it's going to be a faction that includes The Rock, Cena, Seth, and Paul Heyman. Darn you, internet!
I mean, that's a picture to paint. Absolutely. And Hunter would be able to pull that off. The WWE would be able to pull all of that off. So I see what you're saying. Okay. All right. I am going to go logical pick, and it's not going to be a popular one. I'm going Roman Reigns.
Ooh.
I'm going Roman Reigns on the fact that Punk gets his main event Mania match. No one ever said he needed to win. And the way he's been trashing the organization for the 10 years that he was gone, they brought him back, and they're doing right by him, kind of. I mean, they're giving feuds and whatever, but I think, you don't grant everybody their wish, especially when this is happening. So, and then of the two, I think it's easier to have Reigns win, just because you involve Paul Heyman, doing something for Seth Rollins because of the favor, but then also doing something for Punk, and like and then it starts a feud or a problem with the Wise Man and Roman Reigns. And for that is why I'm going Reigns with both of my selections.
Oof! Wow!
And I'm not a Roman Reigns guy at all, but I think something's going to happen, and somehow Reigns is going to walk out of here. And now, if you're talking faction best for business, if you're talking Rock, Reigns, Cena, and Paul Heyman, I mean, come on. So that's where I'm going. Bang, Saturday night.
Wow. Oh my gosh, now I'm even more excited because I don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be so good.
Not at all.
Ooh, and that's just night one, bro. That's just night one. There is so much more to look into.
All right. Well, it's your saving time. Let's do it, baby.
Let's go. Yeah, let's go. All right. So night 2 of WrestleMania 41. The first match I got on my list is the AJ Styles Logan Paul match. I mean, it's no title. It's, age versus beauty kind of set up. The veteran versus the newcomer. Well, since I got the last pick, you gotta go first.
Yeah, all right. So here I'm gonna go logical pick is Paul. I think he's here, it's time. AJ's gonna put him over. AJ's a company guy. So you're gonna give AJ another run at some point. Awesome, he deserves it. But I think right now they're gonna do it to Paul, and then they can work in the carrying cross angle. But my fan pick would be AJ. But logically, Paul.
Yeah, no. I nothing for me to disagree on that. I absolutely agree with that. The logical pick is Paul, because you need to build him up. He was the US champion. He, went against Roman for the championship back in Crown Jewel. But you got to keep doing more with him. You know what I mean? So I think that this starts a longer feud, because it seems like they do work well together. And, AJ could still fly in the air, and then you got somebody as agile as Logan Paul who could also fly. It'd be pretty nice to continue seeing that. And then you throw Karrion Kross in the mix, because again, he's been doing something behind the scenes, and his match with him on Monday was pretty solid.
It was solid.
It was great
solid
seeing
match.
him again in the match,
it was
in
good.
the ring, so
it was good. Absolutely. Yeah.
I completely agree with those picks as well. I'm with you on that one.
Bet.
All right. Next match. Sin City Street Fight. Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre. Whew, well,
your lead here.
Yeah. For me, fan pick, Damian Priest, Latino, Puerto Riqueño, from Nueva York. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's representing, for us in the showcase of the Immortals. So I definitely got to pick him as my fan pick. But logically speaking, I also feel like he's going to be the logical pick too.
Damian Priest?
Yes. And the only reason why I think that is because he's another one where he needs, kind of like LA Knight, he needs to be the next wave to, be able to overcome again and find a way back to that championship. And whether that be through Money in the Bank, King of the Ring, or the Rumble, or even number one contenders match, or like whatever, or open challenge, he's going to have to be the one to rise to the occasion. And as far as Drew, I honestly at this point don't see a real direction of him going like in like a storyline going further, because everything's either been him being obsessed about his shortcomings and blaming others. So there has to be something there, or someone there to like set him straight and be like, hey, you're the reasons for your problems, and I'm gonna shut you up, kind of thing. So I don't know who's gonna be. I don't know who's gonna step up for that, but I say Damian wins both, like my fan and my logic.
Okay, all right. I am going to completely bite off of you. My fandom, of course, is to Damian Priest.
Jeez.
And this was a tough one for McIntyre and Priest, but I figured the win gives Priest more. I think a loss here hurts Priest a lot more than a loss would hurt McIntyre.
For sure.
So for there, and I thought about it, because I also looking around and I'm like, well, you can't have all the faces win and stuff like that. But I think here's one place you can have it and it would make sense. But I agree. I'm going to go with you on Priest on both counts.
There we go. Okay. Let's go. All right. Next match, we got the women's tag team match. Liv Morgan and Raquel, a.k.a. Judgment Day, and versus Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. Fandom pick would be Bayley and Lyra, right? Because, they're the faces. They're, their chemistry is really good together. They do great work together as a tag team. But logical to me is Liv and Raquel walking away the winners, because all those seeds planted of Bayley and Lyra, kind of like switching back and forth on like, is there trust? Is there no trust? this and that. I think that'll be reignited somehow during the match, leading into like the, you know, maybe Backlash or the next pay-per-view of like, hey, I'm going for that IC belt now. And then, you know, hopefully Bayley takes that win going forward. So I think that's the logical, you know, path after WrestleMania.
Okay. All right. I see. All right. Well, my fan pick, I'm going to go with, my fan pick is also my logical pick. And I'm going to go Bayley and Lyra. Because I think with them winning, then you can do more with that IC belt. If they're on a team and she's still always peeping that and Bayley's still always looking to get that belt off her. So I think you can do some really good storytelling there. And there's another reason I'm going to bring back later about this match on why I made this pick. So, but that's why I'm going logically Bayley and Lyra.
Okay. All right. So then let's just jump into the next match. Next match is Intercontinental Championship Fatal 4-Way. Braun Breaker versus Penta versus Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio. Floor is yours, brother. Go ahead. Who's your picks?
We all know who my fan pick is.
Dominic?
Tom and Nick. Both of them. So Penta, I'm just writing that down.
Yeah.
Write that down. And this is where the Liv Morgan thing comes into play. I'm going Finn Balor as the logical pick. I think it's time to put something back on him, get him going. I also think if you take the belts off of Liv and Raquel, you now have a Judgment Day where Finn is the only champ. And now he can kind of be a dick and call the shots and kind of, you know. So Breaker, 2 runs with the belt already. Once again, a loss here doesn't hurt him, especially depending on who gets pinned. Because if Balor pins Dominic, I don't know how Penta works in here. Like I said, mad that Penta stood tall at the end. I would love to see Penta win this thing. But I think storytelling-wise and stuff like that, Finn Balor is good. But then I would want to see him and Penta in a feud and Penta eventually get this belt. But that's where I'm going. I'm going Penta as my fan pick and Finn Balor as my logical.
Let's go. All right, man. I love that. Kind of thinking of the same like thought path as you, but my logical pick and my fan pick is Dominic Mysterio.
Ooh.
and the fan pick obviously is because it's Dom. You know, he showed, you know, a lot of capability when he went against Penta a few Mondays back. You know, you could see that the guy, he's ready to unleash. You know what I mean? He does incredible work, you know, for the son of a legend, right? I mean, at the end of the day. But the logical pick is the same way you pick for Finn, except for me, it would be Dom, because in your theory, if Liv and Raquel do lose the belts, then Dominic, you know, Liv could be like, oh, it sucks that we lost, but at least you still got it, Daddy Dom, you know, like still.
Well, I mean, you have Judgment Day walking with everything, because you have Liv and Raquel winning, and
no, but I'm saying like in theory, but like what I'm saying is now you have Liv and Liv and Dom now pissing everybody else off in the Judgment Day. You know, like they get overly annoying, where Finn has no choice but to implode. Then hopefully JD comes back. And
that's the thing. JD's got to come back. We're gonna see what happens with that.
Yeah, and then you know now there's a huge split, because now Finn got support from JD, Carlito's in the middle. Obviously, Dom and Liv are supportive, and Raquel. You know what I mean? So it's like it's gonna implode, and I think that would be the story for Judgment Day to truly explode.
Yep.
Jealousy.
Okay.
And annoyance.
I dig it. Jealousy. I mean, what's more annoying than annoyancy and jealousy?
Yeah, there you go.
Hello.
Hello. All right. And okay, so all right, you jot that one down. You ready for the next one?
Yeah, man.
Ooh, all right. Triple threat match for the WWE Women's World Championship. We got Io Sky versus Bianca versus Rhea. Okay, you ready?
Yeah, this is you. So let's go.
Okay. For me, the logical pick is Bianca Belair. And the reason why I say that is because if Jade ends up winning night one, now you could have a moment where former friends, she handled one piece of business. Now she's coming for another piece of business to kind of close that story arc out. If that's the turnout for night 1 and 2, right? Like if it happens that way. The fan pick, however, is Io Sky, because she just got it. She's only been with it for like a month, and she got mushed too many times that she has to walk away, like showing, hey, I don't care how tall you guys are, how strong you guys are, I'm gonna knock you both out. Right. Don't ever disrespect me.
On mushes alone, she should.
On mushes alone.
On mushes alone.
And Rhea just left in the dust to figure out life and figure out where she fits in and figure out this crisis that she's going through as a character. Obviously, she's fantastic as a person, I'm sure. But that's where I'm at.
Okay. I'm exactly where you are. Fan pick is Io Sky. I love Io Sky. I agree with you. Disrespected. Thought she did great when kicking her in the back the other night. The missile drop kick off the top, rope, to the back of Rhea Ripley, who then hit Bianca Belair and everyone went down. She signed the contract, walked out with the championship. But that moment was great. Love the promo she cut this past day. Absolutely. This past Raw. I agree with you on the logical pick. I think Bianca is the way to go here. I just think she hasn't had it for a while. It's that time you've had this belt shifting between Io and Rhea. You can find a way to get Io a rematch, because technically she's now the champion, so this can build into a nice little segment for those two to go on. So I'm going to agree with you on Bianca, and then I think you can also tie in the Jade Cargo line there as you have, and kind of see what happens, or maybe Jade starts going after Rhea or what have you. I'm not sure, but I'm with you on both of those.
Yeah. The other thing too, you also have to keep in mind also is low key she has a streak at WrestleMania. You know what I mean? Already. So I hope they see that she deserves to be able to be one of those superstars that should be able to build on that. So
yeah, I mean she's absolutely amazing. So she truly is the EST of this place.
She really is.
She really is. I'm a huge Bianca fan, but just a little bit more is my Io Sky.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. All right, sir. And then finally, the main event of the night. For the undisputed WWE Championship, we have Senor Cody Rhodes versus John Cena.
John Cena.
Let me tell you something, John Cena.
Shout out Santino.
Yes. Go ahead, man. Okay. This is you.
I mean, fan pick is Cena. Fan pick is Cena. Anyone who doesn't have the fan pick is Cena doesn't want to see some good storytelling. Yeah. Or is just a fucking Cody lover. I love Cody.
I love Cody too, bro.
Fan pick here is Cena. Logical pick, Cena.
Yeah, let's go.
I'm going Cena because I'm like, you know what? He gave Cody the moment. Like, Cena does have to get his licks in. He does have to do all of this by the time we get to Christmas, right? Because I think that's when he said he's going to be retiring. So he's got to have a little bit of a run with the belt to make it credible. Not to be like, he won it 17 times, but he only had it for a week or a night or whatever, So I'm going to go Cena here because then I think now you can get a good feud with Cody going. Cody can get it back. Rock and Cena can feud and whatever you can build from there and then turn it. So I'm going Cena on both. Even though I love Cody Rhodes, I am going John Cena. And final answer.
Wait, so you don't have any more adrenaline in your soul? Like,
listen. I will do the whole song. I will wake Apollo up and have him come downstairs because he knows. He goes, Daddy, that Cody Rhodes? And I'm like, yeah. And then he goes, bah! He goes, Daddy, he only did that one time. I'm like, well, with all the cool stuff that you like, yes, the flashing stuff, yeah. But yeah. So I will wake him up and do the whole thing. But yes, I'm going Cena.
Yeah. And I completely agree. I am 1,000% there with you. I love Cody. He's been fantastic ever since he's returned. He returned to the WWE. But because it's the year of Cena, I agree. Fan pick Cena. I want those stories. I want those theories that the internet, again, darn you internet, because you guys are winning, man. Yep. I want that. I want the dream matches, the final matches. I want the Cena versus Randy. I want the Cena versus AJ. I want the Cena versus, whatever. And then ultimately, I want I don't know if you heard this from the internet, but ultimately leading up to a new pay-per-view called Ruthless Aggression, where he will lose the title like a true professional in the business and move on from there and finally hang up his jorts and his backwards cap and t-shirt and etc. So
everything that you threw down when he turned on the world.
Yeah, man. No, it makes sense. It makes sense. And as a fan, I want it. I want it all. I want to be invested again for a whole full year again.
Yeah. Keep going. This is the beginning of the storyline for the year. So you're ending one huge chapter and you're starting the genesis of the new one. So, Genesis is a new one, but it's it's how this year's going to go and how you're going into it. So yeah, I agree, man. This is going to be absolutely fun and fantastic, and I can't wait to watch both nights and just be giddy.
Okay, Primos. So, final thoughts before we get to Saturday.
Final thoughts. Well, we're not going to be able to speak to everybody before SmackDown comes. Unfortunately, I'm working Saturday. I'm Easter Sunday. Monday's going to be a travel day, so I'm going to catch up on everything, but unfortunately, we're not going to be able to report back until probably Tuesday or late Monday. But thank you, everyone, once again for listening. We'll see how Eddie and I did on our picks. Hopefully you guys agree with obviously you'll agree with one of us, on either one. But thanks everybody for listening. We love and appreciate you guys. Please follow primosforlife.com, all the fun stuff. And I cannot wait for Wrestlemania. Yeah. So excited. And then I'm going to ask you just real quick, looking at the layout of the matches, is there a night that you're looking forward to one more than the other?
No, I think if the order that I read them in was correct, I like the way everything was structured. It feels like a traditional pay-per-view with either your tag match being the first titles, but then singles match, and then leading up to the heavy hitting matches.
Right.
Both nights are set up that way. I'm okay with it. I love it. I'm excited for both nights. Both nights are going to offer something amazing.
Okay.
So I'm hyped.
Fantastic.
Yeah, right. Man. Just to kind of piggyback and touch on what you just said, thank you to all our listeners. You guys are fantastic. You guys are amazing. We continue to grow. We're seeing growth on YouTube. We're seeing growth on Spotify, on Apple and Amazon and iHeartRadio, and on Instagram. And also, guys, a new addition, Primos for Life on TikTok. We're there now. Yeah, we there. Yeah.
We're
I launched
talking?
that a few days ago.
We're talking. Oh, it's a good thing I don't have access to that, because that page will be taken down so fast.
Yeah. but yeah, man, we just continue to grow, and also we're also trying to shift in a couple of other things for future episodes that we have to lock in. Obviously, it's Mania season, so it's very busy for a lot of folks. But hopefully, after Mania season's over, maybe we'll have a few surprises in there coming forward after the Mania season is over. So we're super excited, looking forward to it. And if we got nothing else to do, you know what to do, man.
I mean, I'm looking at the card here again on my phone, because it popped up, and I'm just like, I'm sorry. I was paying. Thank you, everyone. What Eddie said, thank you all very much. Appreciate it. Some things are on the pipeline. They're coming down the pipeline. Hopefully, we'll get them taken care of, and it'll be things that we think everybody as fans and listeners would enjoy and take a little pleasure in listening to. So, thank you very much. We love you. We owe you. We couldn't do this without you. And we will see you when we see you. Happy Easter.
There you go. We will see you when we see you. Happy Easter and happy WrestleMania weekend. Take care.